So I was sitting here thinking about a previous video and something dawned on me. I don't know if it's really debunking my own video, but are the Nephilim and Sasquatch the same people group? Something I've kind of wondered for a while. I'm going to have to say no, and maybe. The reason why I'm starting out by saying no is, first of all, climates. I guess there was an incident in Afghanistan near Kandahar where a Nephilim was found in all of its big, scary, gigantic sword-wielding glory. And, I'm kind of putting pieces together here. Afghanistan right now is like 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, the Sasquatch kind of prefers woodlands. Washington State is probably a good guess for a Sasquatch location. It's going to be 50 degrees today. That's like a 30-degree difference, man. And what I'm saying is there does appear to be, a lot of differences between them. You have the digits. Okay, you've got the Nephilim that's got 6, fingers and 6 toes. Very rarely do you have a Sasquatch footprint that isn't a straight up 5. You know what I'm saying? And then there's body hair, of course. The Nephilim has got the big shaggy head and the beard, but they don't really particularly have a lot of hair. And clearly our Sasquatch friend does. So I submit to you that the idea that a Sasquatch are actually closer to us than we are to the Nephilim. You know what I'm saying? Nephilim are larger, and we tend, as humans, to like the same the same sort of climate that Sasquatch likes, which is why there are more Sasquatch sightings than Nephilim sightings. You know what I'm saying? Humans do spend a lot of time out in the desert, but let's be honest, when we go through the desert, we're going somewhere else, And there's a lot of desert area on this planet that has never been explored because, quite frankly, we just don't find that very comfortable. Okay, we can explore, cold climates and all kinds of stuff. Aside from an outpost here and there, we pretty much leave deserts alone. And, the Nephilim is a huge, person who likes a warmer climate. They're going to be left alone out there. So, it's just enough to think about. I also am of the belief that Sasquatch are, how should I put this, capable of being close enough to pass. Okay? Like if a Sasquatch were to breed with a human, their offspring would be close enough to pass. Maybe a small Sasquatch would be. I mean, if you shave a Sasquatch's face, they look like Native Americans. I mean, they do. Okay? And that's, that's just interesting as heck, I think. Incidentally, I believe I knew a fellow who actually was of that particular, should I put this, displacement. I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, I do believe that some are close enough to pass. Moving on, we'll go to speculation here. Sasquatch may be a remnant of a lost human culture that perpetuated certain biological traits as they were isolated, which which kind of makes sense. I think as far as looks go, basically regular humans look more like the Nephilim than a Sasquatch, just because we're not as hairy, but there are very, very, very hairy people. So I still think that as far as genetics go, we do appear to be closer to Sasquatch than Nephilim. I don't know, I think Sasquatch may be a distant cousin of the Nephilim, although so are we, as obviously indicated by rare traits popping up from time to time. You get people with, 6 toes, more digits than they should have. That's totally a Nephilim thing. And biological traits and genetics, you can't stop genetics from happening. It's just going to happen, you know what I'm saying? And here's a question. All this talk of interbreeding and all this other stuff. What if, can you work with me here? What if Sasquatch are actually the real humans on Earth and we're the hybrids? You know what I'm saying? I know that's kind of a weird thought, but all this talk of interbreeding and back in ancient times, there was Nephilim and they interbred with humans and blah 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 blah. Not really a lot of talk about Sasquatch. Maybe they just kind of hid from us, from all the weirdness that we were doing. What if we're the weird ones and the Sasquatch are like the totally legit humans? You know what I'm saying? Ah, it's weird. Anyway, I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this. I was taking my first video in kind of a different direction, but I think it's pretty relevant. So, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear what you think about this. I'm just kind of throwing stuff out there, trying to figure it out for myself, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, but it's interesting. It's interesting. So, like I said, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. You have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all on the flip side.